In this video, we will understand about your sexual parts. So let us look at the first sexual organ. You read it right. The primary sexual organ does not lie between your legs, but it lies between your ears. During any sexual activity, there are a lot of chemicals, hormones which are released by your brain. Also, your mind, that are your thoughts and your feelings, do play a very important role during the sexual activity. So, if your brain is not prepared for the activity, you may still participate, but you might not be able to get the best out of the sexual activity. As we understand, the sexual activity is not just a physiological response, but it is a response of your brain, your mind and the other body parts. So, as we said, the first or the primary sexual organ is located between your ears and not between your legs. So, now let us understand the other private parts. The first is your whole genital area. So, in this image, if you can see, if I just zoom this image in, this is a genital area, or you can say the private part of a female, and there are multiple structures into your private part. Let us understand all these structures one after the other. The first is the Mons Pubis. So, what is the word Mons Pubis mean and where is it located? So, that is the area which you can see in your private part. The first area is your Mons Pubis. So, Mons Pubis is located just beneath your lower tummy and just from where your other areas or your outer lips starts. So, the part between your lower tummy and your outer lips is your Mons Pubis. The Mons Pubis will have your pubic hair or the genital hairs, they are growing upon your Mons Pubis. So, the Mons Pubis is basically a fatty tissue. So, the more amount of fat you have in your body, the fattier would be the Mons, and the lesser the fat, the thinner would be the Mons. Also, the fatty tissue develops under the influence of estrogen hormone during puberty. So, as a female attains her puberty and there is an increased estrogen hormone level in the body, her Mons will become more fattier and more bulkier. After menopause, as the estrogen level reduces or it gets altered, the fat on the Mons alters. It can either decrease or even increase due to the weight gain during menopausal age. So, the Mons can become fat or thin due to the weight gain or weight loss. Why should we understand this specific part, that is Mons Pubis? Because this is the portion which many a times can give pain to a female during pregnancy, which we are terming as symphysis pubis pain. So, the symphysis pubis pain is a very common pain which can happen during pregnancy, and so you should be able to understand about the Mons Pubis. So, the next structure is vulva. There is a very common myth that vulva and vagina is same, but that is not same. Let us understand the word vulva. If you can see in this image, again the image of a female external genital, here this is the whole female external genital and your vulva is the part which is from your Mons Pubis, that is the part we just discussed, up to the perineal body. Now, what does the word perineal body mean? That means the area which is present between your birth hole and your poop hole, that is your vagina opening and the anus. So, if you see in this image, you can see 3 openings. The first is your pee hole from where you pee. The second is the birth hole from where the blood during menstruation comes out, the baby comes out during delivery, and the penis penetrates during sexual activity. So, this is the vaginal opening or the birth hole, and the last is the poop hole or the anal opening. So, the area between your vaginal opening and your anal opening is the perineal body. So, now when we talk about the term vulva, when we talk about this term vulva, we are talking about the area between the Mons Pubis till the perineal body, that is the vulva. The vulva contains many other structures. Let us look at all these structures one by one. The next structure in the vulva are your outer lips, or they are medically known as the labia majora. So, the outer lips, when we talk about, that is the thick fatty skin folds which you see on the private part. So, in this image you can see here, this is your Mons Pubis which we discussed already, and from the Mons Pubis you can see a thick fatty fold coming down. This is your outer lip. So, one side and on the other side. So, these are the 2 outer lips. The outer lips or the labia majora, again they are formed with the fatty tissue. So, the more amount of fat you have in the body, the fattier and the thicker would be the outer lips, and the lesser the fat, the thinner would be the outer lips. The role of the outer lips is to protect your internal delicate structure. So, your outer lips, they protect your internal delicate structure. And then comes the smaller lips or the inner lips, which are medically known as the labia minora. So, labia minora are the structures which are present inside your outer lips. Let us see the labia minora, or you can say the inner lips here. So, we understand the Mons, we understand the outer lips now, and just inside the outer lips we have the inner lips or the smaller lips. So, right and the left inner lips or the smaller lip. So, both these lips, the right and the left, they will meet at the center. So, your right sided inner lip and your left sided inner lip will meet at the center to form the clitoral hood. So, we will discuss about the clitoris in detail, but just for the understanding or the functioning of inner lips, they form the hood of the clitoris. So, your inner lips, they do not have the hair follicles or the hair over them. They are very thin, delicate structure, but these inner lips also have numerous blood vessels. So, they get puffier during sexual activity, and they can also provide the erotic stimulation during the sexual activity. So, your inner lips are located just inside your outer lips, and they form the hood over the clitoris, or they form the clitoral hood. So, you can understand that vulva is basically a larger area, and in the vulva we have different structures. So, as we discussed, the function of the inner lips are to protect the internal delicate structure and also to protect them from infection and dryness.